What's up? It's your girl Icy Mona, and I'm back with another review of Chrisean and Blueface, Crazy in Love, Season 2, Episode 4. Before we get into it, y'all know what to do. Scan the QR code if you would like to connect it with me on social media, or you can also click on the link in my description to get directly to me. All right, so let's get into it. So, picking up from where we left off from the last episode, the mom is basically having a meltdown and going off because she wants to be able to talk to Blueface to give him some advice. Blueface ends up escaping, getting into the car. They kind of disperse, and it shows a scene of the mom and the older sister, and the mom is just crying and talking to her about, like, I'm just trying to help her, whoop de whoop de whoop. And the sister basically had to tell her, like, you know what, at the end of the day, like, I understand your views on, like, being um pro-life, but at the end of the day, she's grown and she's going to do what she wants to do. Like, that's just what it is. Like, it's not that deep at this point. And her mom was over there like, it's a sin, which is like, that's one thing that I don't like about certain people who like pick and choose the sins. A sin is a sin, but sometimes I guess to some people, with depending on different things as we know in society, some sins mean more than others, but okay. But anyways, so the next scene that we get is Blueface and Chrisean. They're scheduled to have a performance, and it's at this, I believe, I'm gonna assume high school, middle school, I'm not sure, but basically at a school, and it was actually very cute. So Chrisean, before going in there, she was super nervous. And in my head, I'm like, girl, you be performing on stages, rolling loud, but no lie, like them middle schoolers, high schoolers, especially the middle schoolers, they are hella mean, bruh. Like, those are really gonna be like the for real critics. So I low key don't blame her. But anyways, she goes in there and she performs first, and she was super, like, it was cute. Like, the kids were like hella juice and they were recording, and it seemed like she had a lot of fun. Like, literally, she was running up and down the bleachers, like, like it was cool. And then when Blueface came out, I'm honestly, I was low key shocked. I didn't know he was gonna get the response that he did. Honestly, like, we saw from the first episode, I was over there, talking my mess, but and I'm assuming because obviously, like, I think I'm around his age, so I'm like, oh, like, but I'm guessing maybe on TikTok, like, his stuff goes up because I'm like, wait, if that song dropped at this year and them kids are in high school, middle school, like, y'all, I mean, anyways, but yeah, Blueface is performing, and literally, those kids, they were super geek, hella motherfucking geek. They literally got up out of the bleachers and ran towards him, like literally bum rushed the whole gymnasium. I was crying. Like, they literally had to pause the music and be like, y'all get back in your seats. Like, they was hella Jews. I'm not gonna lie, I was singing along to the song a little bit. I was like, yeah, I was talking my mess, but I was like, okay, Blueface, baby. I like but yeah, that was really, really cute. Okay, so in the next scene, it slates or shows us that basically Blueface family and Krishan's family planned on having a dinner with each other. But it said that Blueface told them that he's going to meet up with them later. I'm assuming meeting them at the place. So he said. At this point, Krishan and her family are at the house, and it's her mom, her sisters, her stepdad, and her friend. And right when they're like showing them in the house, basically her and her mom are getting into it again. Krishan's mom still wants to talk to her and try to, I guess, give her advice or have Krishan hear her out. And Krishan is just literally over it. Like, she don't feel like having the conversation. They just argued at like the clinic, like, or at the hospital. Like, she just came back from this performance. Like, she's like, they're just starting to get into it. You can literally hear them arguing from outside the house. And outside the house is where Blueface's mom is standing, and she's waiting, I guess, waiting on him. Now, Blueface's mom is over there, like, looking like, kind of looking, not looking at them crazy, but basically like, okay, like, why is she yelling and screaming? And she was like, well, she's pregnant, she shouldn't be yelling and screaming like this, like, what's going on? And the mom is like, well, she's upset right now and yelling and screaming for whatever reasons, and maybe I should just dip. And there's someone outside that's talking to her, I guess that's on like Krishan's side, who is basically communicating with her, like being the middleman between her and Krishan, basically she was like, "Oh no, like we're trying to figure out where he's at, da da da," because Blueface's mom was asking, "Okay, then where's Blueface?" And the girl who was talking to her was telling her to basically stay because she was like, "I know you drove 2 hours out here, like hold on." And from what I know from living out here in SoCal, that LA traffic is no joke. So yeah, just just hold on. Like, let's see if we can get this together. The mom is obviously irritated and upset because she's basically wasting her time. And obviously, we know her and Chrisean don't have the best relationship. So the mom ends up calling Blueface. He's not answering her. And she is literally at this point fed up. And she literally says, like, oh, he's just not going to be here for his baby then? That's unbelievable. Like, and that really is. Like, how are you just like, what is going on? So basically, the next scene, it shows Krishan's family inside eating. And I was confused because I'm like, okay, maybe the mom left and they decided, like, hey, go back, leave. But literally, they're inside eating food. I guess they already decided that Blueface is being on some bullshit, so let's just eat here. But Blueface mom is still outside, standing there. And basically, the last thing that she said on screen was telling the mediator, like, well, does she want to come out and talk to me privately? Like, she can, blah, blah, blah. And after that, I just cut to them to all black. And it basically said that the mom waited for over an hour for Blueface to show up. And after that hour went by, they decided that, she decided like it's best to go home. And I just think that's hella messed up. It's like, for one, you have all these people waiting, but it's like, dang, even your own mom, like she drove out here 2 hours, waited an hour, wasted 3 hours of her time. And this is something that you told her that was going, like, you help plan this. So that was just extremely disrespectful. I was just like, wow. So, anyways, back inside, Krishan and her family, they're eating, and everybody's basically at this point, they're sitting around the table, and the older sister is pretty much bringing up the elephant in the room between Krishan and her sister Latifah, basically telling them, like, all right, we all here, like, we all love each other. Y'all need to work this out. Like, let's put everything on the table so we can just move past this. So obviously it turns into an argument, but Krishan, her point of view was saying she feels like they treat her like a baby. Latifah and the whole family in general. Latifah was like arguing back against her and just like, no, we don't, like, just going back and forth. The mom was trying to hop in and say, like, kind of agree, like, yeah, we do treat her like a baby, like, because she is one of the youngest, but now, like, she's like grown, like, we do have to like treat her as such. And basically, they were just arguing back and forth. And it got to the point where the stepdad had to step in because the older sister at that point got up and left and was just irritating over it. And just like you can hear in the background, like on some, like, I've been here all week and y'all are like, just over it. Stepdad really steps in and handles it. Like, he basically sets the record straight. And it's like, okay, now that y'all have communicated how you feel, this is how we're going to do this. We're going to basically compliment each other. So, Krishan, you feeling like she's being aggressive towards you, whatever, whatever. He pointed to the sister, like, okay, then you need to stop cussing her out, stop coming at her crazy. And he was like, and Krishan, you feel like you're being babied and all this stuff, and your sister's saying she's just trying to protect you. So you need to stop running your mouth and telling your sister your love life and your business. So that won't happen then. Problem solved. Boom. And I'm like, okay, props to stepdad, because like that's really all it is. It's simple. Like, either y'all gonna continue to talk to each other about personal stuff and that's just gonna be the reactions that it is, or you're gonna talk to her not about like your love life. And I was always told that too. Like, like, yes, you should, like, your parents should know who you're with if you're with someone seriously, but sometimes it is best not to tell every detail of your love life to your family, even to friends too, because when that person is messing up or whatever, like, they're gonna be looking at them sideways. And even when they're doing good, they're still gonna always just see the bad because obviously, your family and friends care about you. But yes, I agree 100%. Like, just stop all the unnecessary drama. So then in the next scene, we basically have all of them just take it outside and they're just chilling, kicking it. And Latifah basically is like, oh, y'all catch me up on what happened the day before with the whole ultrasound, whatever. So the older sister's catching her up and she was like, but I can really tell that, like, Blueface, like, he loves her. Like, she's basically trying to, I don't know, like, she's basically like, no, like saying like, no, Blueface is on some cool ish, like, I can tell he loves her, and he's just staying on what he said with the whole paternity stuff, whatever. So I got a little confused after this because Krishan's friend basically asked Latifah what made her react the way she did when Krishan verbally told her, like, hey, get off of me, or like gave her the vibe, like, I don't want to be touched. So because of that, Latifah then, like, her and the friend basically kind of started arguing low key because Latifah was like, "That's my sister," da 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 da, and then started getting to a point where Latifah was like, basically like, "This is some sister stuff. Like, you just a friend. Like, you need to stay out of this." And the friend was like, "No, I love y'all for real." Blah blah blah. And I was so here for when the stepdad was like, stepped outside and was like, "Why are we still talking about this?" Like, I was, that's why I'm like, okay, I'm confused. Like, I thought it was squashed at the table. The man said what he said. We gonna come to an agreement with each other. Boom. So, like, yeah, it is a little bit messy that Krishan's friend was bringing that up again, because it's like they literally just squashed the stuff. What was the point of even like? There was just no point in doing that. That was so unnecessary. So, anyways, in the next scene, Blueface and Krishan, they're at the house. She's making breakfast for him. Blueface is being a clown because she's asking him what he wants to eat. And he was like, "Can you put some coochie on the side?" Like, boy. But, anyways, he starts asking her about the whole meetup with his mom. How'd that go? Which also left me very confused too, because according to those subtitles on the screen, it said that they planned to have their families meet, and he was going to meet with them later. And Krishan was basically telling him that she wished the mom didn't show up. She was like, "I could barely get my sisters to leave. She should have just left." And I was confused because I'm like, isn't this a planned thing? But then Blueface on his point was saying, he was like, "Well, I told them it was cool to pull up even if I'm not there, like, it's fine." And Krishan was like, "You shouldn't have told them that." So now I'm kind of like, oh, so maybe it wasn't planned. Maybe it was like Blueface was like, "Okay, it's, I don't care. You could pull up on them, like, whatever." And Krishan's basically like, "If you're not home, I'm not letting them in." But at the same time, it's like, dang, that's his fam. I don't know. I'm confused, but I guess if they weren't on the same terms, he shouldn't have told them to stop by. And basically, Krishan was like, "Yeah, the minute you weren't there, it was like, okay, y'all need to go. He's not here." So that's kind of awkward, whatever. And then the next scene, they're in the bed. And to be honest with y'all, they were mumbling so much. I don't know. All I could get out of that conversation was "Oh, you want me to take the lie detector test?" "Yeah, because I got to see blah, blah, blah." And they kissed at the end. It wasn't that important. So in the final scene, which is the most entertaining because this is when Krishan and Blueface do the lie detector test. First off, once again, Blueface is a pure clown. Like, they're driving, mind you, he's already driving low key reckless on the freeway. And he pulls up to park, and she's like, "It's red." And he leans over and is like, "It's Crip." I can't lie, Blueface is low key kind of funny. Like, even though he is like, he's funny. I can see why Krishan likes him, because like he does have a he's goofy. But anyways, they're going inside to take the test, and basically the dude's explaining to them how it works. So the more emotion that you have, whatever, that can come up as a no. Basically, that means you're nervous, whatever. So try to stay calm, blah blah blah. So Blueface is up first taking the test, and to start the test off, they ask like basic questions, like regular questions, to just screen you out, right? And then comes the actual question. So I'm going to read you guys off the most important ones and what they came back as. So Krishan asked him, "Do you love me?" He said yes. They came back as true. She asked, "Do you believe this is your baby?" He said no. That came up as a lie. She asked, "Do you want me to leave the house?" That one I don't remember what was said. Okay, next one. He said, "Are you excited?" She's asked him, "Are you excited to be a family?" He said no. That came up as a lie. And then she asked him, "Can you picture me out of your life?" He said yes. That came up as a lie. And we know that because we know you need her for the bang. And then the last question she asked, "Would you have a threesome with me?" He said yes. That came up obviously as true. Now for Krishan. So first off, this had me screaming, y'all. When Krishan went to sit down and get strapped up to take the test, I have never in my life seen Blueface smile that big. Like, I'm gonna put a picture up that had me screaming. Like, he was hella juice for her to take this test and for the responses to be what the responses were. So they screen her at first, but she's already hella nervous. The dude asks her, like, "Are you in California?" She says yes. It comes up as she's lying because she's moving around, she's laughing, and like that nervous, like, laughter, whatever. So he's like, "All right, calm back down." She's able to calm down and pass like the basic screening. Now, here are the questions that Blueface asked her. He asked her, Is your name Chrisean? Are you from Baltimore? The basic stuff. She said yes. That came up as true. He then asked her, Do you cheat? She said no. The lights started moving, y'all. The lights started moving. So that was a no. Then he said, Next question. Do you love me? She said yes. That came up with true. Then he asked, Have you been with anyone else in 2023? She said no. That came up as a lie. And then she started hella laughing. She was like, Nah, ask it again, because I'm moving too much, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, you got one more time. You got one more time, Chrisean. Come on. Like, it could be the nerves, but come on. So then he asked her again, Have you been sexually active with anybody else other than Blueface in 2023? She said no. All of it's ringing off the charts. It's a lie. I'm like, damn. Like, not Blueface actually being right. I'm like, Chrisean, what is you doing, baby girl? Yeah, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, like, y'all, I'm a Libra, and granted, I'm not one like the lying types like that, unless when it comes to like, well, men, like, I guess the way Chrisean is doing. Oh my gosh. But anyways, yeah, I could tell she was lying even before it got to the end of it. Just the way she was smiling, I was like, please don't let this be true. But the way she was smiling, I was like, bitch, you is lying, because you want to laugh so bad because you're like, oh shit. Like, it was just, I'm just like, damn. So this was actually a really good episode. So yeah, that's the end of the review. If you like this review, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to scan that QR code, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.